Son Goku, using Mastered Ultra Instinct after having a good meal and not holding back, versus LeBron James with the Chaos Emeralds, 100 years of prep time, the Infinity Gauntlet in his prime with no bad coaches or teammates. Who would win? For those who don't know, this image has been bounced around the internet for a little while now that compares Goku at his essential max potential to LeBron James, who is getting powered up to superhuman levels. A fight like this is almost the pinnacle of silly power scaling debates because at first it just sounds really funny, and then you start breaking it down and this topic gets really interesting, and then it goes back to being really funny again. So I think it's a perfect topic to finish the year on. Does Goku get the Yamcha treatment, or does LeBron James become LaFraud? Let's find out. If you like this kind of stuff, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's jump right in. Now, to begin this matchup, it's important to establish what we mean by who wins. After all, one of them is an anime character and the other is a real-life basketball player. So to make things interesting, we will be analyzing both of them on their home turfs, both in a fight and in a one-on-one game of basketball. With that understood, let's begin by covering the stats of both LeBron and Goku. Standing at 5'9" and 137 pounds, the Saiyan known as Kakarot has one of the longest fighting careers in anime history. He's defeated the Red Ribbon Army, surpassed the martial arts masters of his planet, and eradicated the Demon King Piccolo all before he turned 17. As an adult, he would continue to accrue even more impressive accomplishments, playing the most pivotal role in stopping the Saiyan invasion, becoming the first Saiyan in centuries to become the Super Saiyan, defeating Frieza, assisting in the defeat of Perfect Cell, and 7 years later, he was the only person who could put an end to Majin Buu. And that's not even counting what he's done in Dragon Ball Super. As we are all pretty familiar with Goku's scaling, I'm going to try and keep this section quick so we can talk about his opponent. Suffice to say, there are practically an infinite number of scales and feats that can be applied to Goku, both downplaying him or upscaling him so much that he has his own tier of power called Goku-versal. Of course, there are those who think just because Goku hasn't visibly destroyed much on screen or has taken damage while lowering his power that he's not even a planet buster. Yes, when lowering his power level to that of normal humans, he can be scratched by bullets or shot by lasers, but I think you are being simply disingenuous if you think Goku is only that strong when actually in the context of his serious all-out fighting power. Instead, for Goku's scaling, we must look at what is stated about his potential feats, the feats of characters weaker than Goku, the cosmology of Dragon Ball, and of course the multipliers from Goku's many transformations. All of that though depends on how you interpret the cosmology of the Dragon Ball universe. Personally, I think Universe 7 and the general cosmology of Dragon Ball is ultimately a pretty basic multiverse, with Goku being quantifiably and unquantifiably above both the universe-busting statements of lesser characters like the Boos or even Cell and Frieza if you want to be spicy, and the low multiversal feats of his fist clash with Beerus that is stated multiple times to wipe out the multiple universe-sized spaces that make up Universe 7, as well as the many other spatially and temporally distinct realms that are also part of it. Since the Battle of Gods feat, Goku has gotten so much stronger from training for multiple years, unlocking at least 5 new forms or variations of forms, and multiple last-second power-ups that allowed him to surpass everything that had come before in just his base form. Pretty much any interpretation of the Dragon Ball cosmology or power scaling higher than baseline multiversal increases Goku's power by literally beyond an infinite amount. The other world being a higher dimension, Goku is 5D or low multiversal now. The world of Void being beyond the concept of time, or Beerus being beyond dimensional, sure, Goku is hyperversal or outerversal now. Do I think that he's that strong personally? No, not at all, but you can certainly say it, I guess. Beyond just his power though, what makes Goku really special is his capacity to always get stronger. There are barely any points in the series where Goku isn't developing or growing stronger in some way, which I think is mostly due to him maximizing his earthly teachings under Master Roshi with his natural Saiyan genetics and capacity to always grow stronger through battle. For this matchup specifically, Goku doesn't have any major buffs beyond his normal power. However, the fight makes it clear that he is not holding back in any way, meaning he will start in his strongest form of Mastered Ultra Instinct and be willing to use his full power right from the start to even kill LeBron. With all that being said, just remember there's a reason that Goku is the measuring stick of anime. There's a reason why the question is, can he beat Goku though? But can he beat LeBron though? Standing at 6'9" and weighing 250 pounds, King James is in the discussion for being one of, if not the greatest basketball players of all time, while also having one of the NBA's longest careers. Literally, as I was writing the script, he became the player with the highest minutes played of all time in the NBA. Beyond this, I could probably spend all day listing his accomplishments: 4 NBA championships, NBA all-time leading scorer, 3-time Olympic gold medalist, and has been dominating for so long now, he's teammates with his own son. Now, obviously, being maybe the greatest athlete in a sport does not mean you can take on Goku. Despite all these stats and accomplishments, LeBron isn't even being close to the strongest fighter on the planet in real life, let alone in Dragon Ball. However, things get interesting when you start adding power-ups that aren't available in the real world. So let's talk about each and talk about how strong they would make him. The obviously most useless power-up here is having no bad coaches or teammates. This is a one-on-one fight anyways, and it's not like his normal human coaches or teammates are going to be able to assist him in a fight against Goku. Maybe they could die and act as motivation to power up LeBron more, but that's about it. By itself, 100 years of prep time isn't going to be much for LeBron. While something like prep time might be helpful for a character who's already strong like Goku, who could be betrayed and trapped in the time chamber, or intelligent characters with high resources like Batman, you could give all of humanity infinite time and they would never develop up enough power to defeat Goku. It simply isn't happening. What I will say though is that 100 years is easily enough time to learn literally everything there is to know about Goku and Dragon Ball, meaning LeBron will at the bare minimum know everything that Goku has to offer, if he doesn't already, because I'm pretty sure he knows about Dragon Ball. However, this prep is aided greatly by the next 2 boosts, and honestly the only power-ups that matter in this fight: the Infinity Gauntlet from Marvel Comics and the Chaos Emeralds from Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's start with the Chaos Emeralds. For those who don't know, the Chaos Emeralds are 7 powerful gems that exist within the Sonic universe, and for the most part are the single most powerful item one can obtain, aside from a few others. Notoriously, when harnessing all of them at once, characters like Sonic, Shadow, and Silver can transform into golden super forms that grant them drastically higher power than their normal states. Most notably, from a crossverse standpoint, the Chaos Emeralds were able to overpower the god Solaris, and the same emeralds were used by Shadow, Sonic, and Silver to also defeat him, which makes them that strong consistently. This is important because Solaris was going to annihilate and absorb all timelines and time-space within the Sonic universe, of which there are likely an infinite number. This might be even more impressive if this includes alternate realms that are not necessarily normal timelines, as there are some pretty solid implications of them being 4D extra-dimensional structures in and of themselves, and there are plenty of arguments for the Sonic cosmology being even far higher than that. Aside from just power though, the Emeralds allow for all kinds of hacks abilities, notoriously being able to both stop time and allow for teleportation. Now, I know some of you might be bringing up the fact that LeBron's base form does not scale the same as Sonic's, which is true. However, the amp even Sonic gets from these is quite literally beyond an infinite amount. So the difference between Sonic and LeBron is essentially negligible in the grand scheme of things. You might also argue that LeBron wouldn't be able to handle or control the power of the Emeralds, which may be true, but again, he has literally 100 years to practice and master using them, which is more time than anyone in Sonic has ever had. By the end of 100 years, I have no doubt he'd be able to transform into Super LeBron, but this pales in comparison to the other major boost. I just recently talked about the scaling of the Marvel Comics universe, and suffice to say, there are very few fictional universes whose cosmology compares, but if you want a more in-depth look, check out this video. Still, you have plenty of characters who are outright shown or stated to be able to destroy the entire multiverse, a multiverse that is both infinite in size and infinite in mathematical dimensionality. Beyond this level of power, they're being known as the abstracts, or at least their avatars. It's here you have characters like Eternity, Infinity, and the Living Tribunal, among others, who represent the personifications of these concepts. What does this have to do with the Infinity Gauntlet? Well, it's capable of one-shotting these guys or just outright overpowering them, making it far more powerful than the Chaos Emeralds. It also provides an insane amount of hacks abilities granted to each of the stones, from reality warping to time travel to telepathy to teleportation. It's described that each stone powers up the other stones, making the gauntlet at full potential have a feedback loop of literally infinite power. While just having this gauntlet by itself is a massive buff, once again, keep in mind that LeBron has 100 years to use the gauntlet to prepare in any way he sees fit, while also using it in tandem with the Chaos Emeralds. So with that being said, who wins this fight. Starting with a fight, aka Goku's home turf, things are already not looking that good. Even with the Chaos Emeralds alone, LeBron would be Goku's equal, if not already scaling higher than him, at least in pure power. Solaris is just that insane. However, even if Goku can somehow match the basic power of Super LeBron, he would then need to somehow beat the Infinity Gauntlet with 100 years of prep time, which, I'm sorry, he's just absolutely not doing. He might start the fight and see an army of 1 billion alternate versions of himself, or LeBron could just start the fight by going back in time and snapping away a weaker version of Goku. It might sound hyperbolic, but there are a practical infinite number of ways LeBron could beat Goku with the Infinity Gauntlet. Unsurprisingly, the basketball game would go even worse for Goku. Not only does Goku barely know the sport at all, the hacks advantage LeBron has would make beating Goku even easier. He could warp reality so there's literally no net on his side of the court, teleport the ball repeatedly into the basket or out of Goku's hands whenever he manages to somehow gets it. Once again, the possibilities are essentially endless. So yeah, the Infinity Gauntlet and Chaos Emeralds are simply insanely busted. But what if I told you LeBron might not need either of these? So, at the start when I said LeBron was essentially a normal person, I kinda lied, as there is media that has shown the full power of a completely normal LeBron James without any colored gems powering him up. Of course, I'm talking about multiverses, where literally normal basketball player LeBron James in this story is capable of fighting characters like Bugs Bunny, Superman, and Rick Sanchez. Now, all of these characters deserve their own video scaling them, but all of them can be scaled higher than Goku. I'm only pointing this out because this is a normal LeBron James with literally 0 special amps. So arguably, if you're using Composite LeBron James, the Gauntlet, the Prep, and the Chaos Emeralds are actually overkill. Seems like Goku's getting dunked on. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. As always, thank you to my members who got to see this video early, and if you disagree with my takes, let me know how I was wrong in the comments down below. See ya!